What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Vault Hunters here on the leftover server. The factory has a new visitor apparently. Holy crap. This guy is quite large. It actually, I'm not gonna lie, it actually kind of looks cool up there as like if I was some kind of taco factory or something selling some street tacos or something. Apparently Bumbo has come to visit the factory here, and I have a feeling that this guy has been mobile lately. He's been spotted a few different locations around the server, and now he's made it over to the factory. We'll deal with him later on. Welcome, Bumbo, to the factory here. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. And welcome to you, to the workshop here. We've got some things to do today, and actually, for the first time in a while, we're going to do some vault-specific stuff. So I'm actually going to work on this little card collection we've got here today. I've been working on stocking up on all these cards for a while now, and I think it's finally time we dive in to open these. And I've got a little bit of an idea of how we could do this in a more fun fashion. First, let's take a little quick picture here in case we need this later for you know, the thumbnail or something that you probably already saw if I did use it. A little behind the scenes moment for you there. So I'm thinking we do, I don't think I need two of these actually. I don't know why I brought two. But I was thinking a fun idea here would be if we take one of these distribution modules and go transfer into the router. And then can we select like each of these? I think we can do up to 8 different targets like so. And then if we throw this in here, that should start sucking cards out of there. Sweet. And then can we do into this thing with a sender module? That should send cards into there, pull them off the shelf. Wham, bam, bam. And we'll get all of those going. I don't remember now which ones I didn't select already, though. So if we do this, there's probably one I missed there. But if we do this, this will allow us to basically have this constantly fill into here. So we can just sit in here and go through our entire stash of cards one at a time, pick out the ones that are good, pick out the ones that are not good. And I'm kind of looking at doing a little bit of a deck upgrade here. So things like resistance we're going to want. We probably don't need too many new arcane cards unless they're really good. Looking for resource cards mainly for fruit if we get any of those. I don't think we need the chromatic iron card for now. Lucky hit ones would be good to take. And then I'm also looking for... We don't really need more damage cards at the moment. Looking for some health cards, perhaps. Ooh, lemon card for tanks. That's not bad. We'll take any fruit cards we can find for sure. And then a lot of the other ones here, we're pretty much just going to turn into card juice. Increased health. I was just saying we'd like to have some of those. And then that's pretty much the gist of it. Foil cards we can maybe work on for another deck in the future. Increased health. Attack damage is good. I'm going to run through all of these, and these cards are just going to filter back in. We'll put the ones we select into our deck here, and we should be able to empty out this entire section of cards here in the workshop and see what kind of good stuff we can get. There we go. We got the whole entire shelf completely cleared off. I think that was a pretty effective process to get all of those sorted out. We did come up with some good ones in here that I saw. We got a couple of new fruit cards. Not the greatest fruit cards, but maybe this Horde for grapes is not too terrible. Tanks and champions, kind of tough to get those ones in there. And then we got a whole bunch of these other resistance cards, a bunch of lucky hit cards, some item rarity cards that we're going to try to assemble into a little bit of a new deck here. And now we have 110 card essence here, card juice, that we can use to upgrade cards as well. So we'll work on getting that put together with a new deck of sorts here. I don't know what other ones I have unlocked yet. There's a few I would still like to try to get that we'll probably have to work on another time. I know one of them I was very interested in. The God Altar decks for sure would be good. A couple of these are really nice. And then I think it was this one here, the Arcane deck would actually be really sweet as well. But we'll wait on those for a little bit in the future. I want to create a couple of different decks as we get closer to level 100 here for some different builds. But just wanted to get all those opened up and unlocked here so that we can move on as we're getting real close to level 100. Maybe not real close. We got a little bit of work left to do. But with all of that opened up here, I think maybe we jump into a vault and try to push right to the next level here because we're getting real close to level 94 and kind of want to show what we've been doing to try to get some maximum XP. I did a live stream the other day for quite a while and learned a whole bunch about different ways to gain XP in the vaults here, and I want to show a little bit of what we've been up to try to get these next 7 levels we need to get to level 100. Here we go. We got a special crystal whipped up for this little XP vault run here. We're going to do a whole bunch of plentiful, a whole bunch of accustomed, and luckily we got the expertise. So only got a few challenge stacks on here, but we got 2 mine rooms on there. And if we pop into this guy here, we can see this is going to give us a whole load of XP, which is going to be great. Hopefully we can jump an entire level or close to it at this point. If we pop into here, it is 1.1 million XP for each level. So we're only about 40,000, I think, maybe if my math is correct, away from the next level from 94. And last time I did one of these with CWG, we ended up, oh, that's not good. One of the mine rooms is, okay, it's fine. It's on the map. It's far away. Last time I did one of these with CWG, I ended up getting over 1 million XP from a vault like this. So we're going to dive in. We got a little bit of different setup with our Fruit Efficiency Charm, the Ender Anchor to make it a little smoother in these mine rooms, and then the Burger to give us extra XP. And then I switched out my deck for just some mana, some mining speed, some extra speed and whatnot with a plentiful companion. So hopefully we don't really need to fight anything in here. We're going to try to find braziers only that give us extra experience, little easy ones, hopefully, and try to mine up these ore rooms as quick as possible and see what we get for XP gain. So sit back, grab a little snack, something to drink, and listen to the soothing sound of many ores and loads of experience right in your ear holes. There we go. One room mostly cleared out, and we're already up to 395,000 experience without even getting any of the brazier or anything complete yet. So I think we're off to a real good start here. Can I? Nope. Can't get out of there without doing that. We're going to head off to the next mine room there and see if we can find some additional braziers along the way, because that is going to drastically improve our experience gain as well. And I think the trick I'm kind of learning here with some trial and error is that the combination of plentiful and accustomed on the catalyst really makes a difference, because having that additional ores helps a lot with getting more, chances to collect experience from each one of those, but getting the additional experience multiplier from the accustomed actually helps out quite a bit more. So I think on this one I had, what was it, 4 accustomed, so plus 80%, and we had what, 7 total plentifuls on there. So that's a pretty good combo so far. With just one mine room, I'm up to 400,000 experience already. So I think we're definitely on track if we get some more braziers here to get well over 1 million experience here, and hopefully get an entire level in our 90s with just one single vault. No experience there. As I'm running through here looking for more of these braziers too, I will add this was definitely a suggestion I got multiple times in the last live stream when we were figuring a bunch of this stuff out, with a little bit of tweaking and balancing along the way as well. So appreciate all the suggestions. We had a lot of fun, or at least I had a lot of fun figuring out where all these different experience sources come from. We learned that, you know, elites give a little bit of extra experience compared to regular mobs. Doing a bunch of mobs in a vault gives a bunch of experience. Different chest types and different rarities give a bunch of experience, and it's super fun just to see how much depth there really is to vault hunters and all the different avenues for how to maximize the things like experience gain. Even looking at things like adding item rarity to a tool to give you higher rarity chests, because the higher rarity chests you have, the higher XP gain you get. And going through all those different you know, parts of the game and figuring out where things can come from and whatnot was super fun to me to kind of analyze all of those different areas that you can get stuff from and trying to figure out what is, you know, the best option going forward. These vaults by far with the plentiful on it have been really, really good for us. However, they do get a little bit repetitive, a little redundant after you run a couple of these. So we're doing a few of them here and there mixed in with the rest of the stuff we're doing to try to catch up to everyone else that has already made it to level 100.
Cold breath on the glass of a new screen. No map in the dark, yeah, I'm unseen. One life in the bank and a heart of lead. Just a flicker of light where the heroes tread. Just a flicker of light where the heroes tread. Walking through the static of a ghost town, heavy with the weight of the last fall down. Pixels in my vision and a soul of wire, trying to find a spark in the digital fire. Now the power is calling my name. I finally mastered the heart of the game. Watch the world as it starts to expand. I'm writing my legend across the whole land. Yeah, across the whole land. Every coin I ever lost was a debt to the climb. Spent 1,000 hours just to master the time. Leveling the spirit while I'm leveling the stat. Leveling the spirit while I'm leveling the stat. Started in the dirt where the broken things sat. Now the gears are turning smooth and the logic is clear. Building up an empire out of shadow and fear. Every little stumble was a lesson I stored, turning every pixel into something I adored. The air is thin up here. I'm standing at the edge of the world, looking back at the path I carved. It's not just a game anymore, it's a mirror. Now the power is calling my name. I finally mastered the heart of the game. Watch the world as it starts to expand. I'm writing my legend across the whole land. Yeah, across the whole land. Save point reached. Quest complete. Until the next play, walk away now.
With our second ore room completely mined out, we're up to 827,000 experience, off to a pretty dang good start, I would say. We still got 7.5 minutes left, and that should be more than enough time to grab a couple more experience. What are they called? Braziers, and get ourselves up the extra little bit we need to try to push this thing to the max and get ourselves a full level is the goal here. So let's try to see if we can find some easy braziers. Like I said, I don't really want to fight anything because I switched out a lot of my build for other stuff here, so the mobs are probably going to be a little more dangerous. We only have a few extra challenge stacks, so it shouldn't be too awful, but we want to be careful about that for sure. Treasure hunter would be great if I would have brought some keys with me, which I did not. But I will take this Uber pylon and get the free temporal shard. That'll be nice to have. I don't really have a collection of those much at the moment. So we'll take that. And then try to navigate here a couple more of these braziers. There's one there. Brings us up to 859. We might need to do a little bit more to get ourselves over the edge here on this 1.1 something million we want to try to accomplish here. And no on that one. Is this an ore room though? Maybe we do try to do one ore room here and see if this helps a little bit. Since we can mine them so quickly. Oh yeah, okay. These guys are definitely dangerous. But if we can sneak in here and sort of just mine the ores out from underneath them a little bit without having to fight too much, I think we can manage to get a couple extra bits of experience here. We can just yoink and yoink. Woo, woo. Getting spicy. Okay. That brings us up to what, 869? Okay, so that gave us, I don't know, another 10, 20,000 XP for that. A little bit dangerous though, so we got to be careful what we're doing here. The final brazier, we're definitely running low on time. So I need to get out of here. We're just over 1 million experience. We're going to have to fruit our way out of here, as we need to get back to the entrance because it is still a brazier vault. I really would love to get just a little bit more. We're at just over 1,070,000 something. So we're not quite going to get to level 95 with that. We did do, oh gosh, there's a hole in the floor, a bunch of these ore rooms, but I'm also a little bit worried about not having much health left to be able to fight too many guys to take on that little bit of extra XP we need to get a full level over. We'll finish off a couple of these guys. Oh, yeah, we're getting fragile though. We got to go. It is time to head to the portal, take our 1 million experience, and try to make it home safely. Woo! Dun, da, da, da. 1,043,961 experience from that vault. A 4.4x multiplier. That is definitely by far the best vault run I think I've had so far, especially as a solo run, because it was a little sketchy at the end there trying to get all those braziers without having anyone there to help. So that's a pretty good start. Let's see. I don't think it's going to quite take us to 95, but this should level us up almost all the way past level 94. Boom. Almost one entire level at that. And actually, there's a chance that we still could do it here because in that vault, I also completed a bounty for an additional 125,000 experience. And that does it right there. Holy cow. This smile on my face right now is insane if you could see it through the screen. That was one heck of a play there. We got the massive experience from the vault and a little extra from the bounty to give us over one full level and an additional artifact. Look at that. We are so close now. The stack is piling up. We got 32 unidentified artifacts here ready for us to hit level 100 and be able to complete the entire puzzle, hopefully. So I'd say we're off to a pretty dang good start here on our journey to 100. What do you say, Bumbo? Do you agree? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We're working hard. Next thing on the list for today, I think we got to take care of our little friend here and see what we can do about this guy. Now, I should be able to just remove the blocks from this thing. I'm pretty sure when you build one of these, you get, yeah, you just get all the blocks back, which is kind of nice. You could actually use these to essentially farm up some blocks of your choosing if you wanted to use these different structures. Now, this is actually kind of an interesting prank because this crucible here that is required to do this prank is extremely expensive. 2 blocks of black chromatic steel and a bunch of other chromatic. I ran out of chromatic iron trying to make this thing, but we've got one now, and I think it's time that Bumbo takes a little adventure here. He seems to be on a little bit of a server tour, so I say we let him continue his journey. He's checked out the factory. He thinks, you know, everything's good here. Gave me the Bumbo stamp of approval on the junk food production we got going on over here. Bumbo likes his sweets as well. So I think we find a little target on the menu here to see if we can't pass this guy along to somebody else and have him do a little tour of the rest of the server. I'm currently the only one online, which hopefully will make this a little bit easier to do. So we're popping over to Ozone's Island here. If you haven't checked out Ozone's stuff yet this season, go over and check out his channel. There's a link in the description down below. He's got a nice simple little fort style thing going on here. If we peek in here, he's got some goodies going on there. He's been working hard, getting his crates and all that. Ooh, he's got 2 creepers. Holy cow, he's got a bunch of cool stuff in there. But yeah, I think Bumbo would like to probably check out what's going on over in this area as well. So I want to put it a little bit away from what he's got going on here so we're not interfering, and kind of have it, you know, hang out off in the distance until he notices what's going on. And I think one of these little areas over here might be a really good spot for it. Oh, he's got some cool stuff going on down there as well with all these really cool little like archaeology tables where they're doing some exploring and stuff. Cool cranes and everything. I like that. That looks pretty sweet. So let's put this thing down here and see how this thing works out. So we put down the Architect's Crucible, and I've got a couple of these original Bumbos built up. We should be able to pop one of these into here and see preview on where reset, where I'm supposed to be able to see this. Am I not? Does this have anything to do with shaders? It does. Okay, apparently you can't preview the Bumbo with shaders on. So this thing pops up in the world. We should be able to rotate this guy 180 degrees. It gives us this really nice little preview so we can see what's going on here. So I want to push him. He's quite large. I want to push him. Oop, which way is that? Push him back this way just a little bit. I can kind of see something. Like that almost. Maybe push him back over this way a couple more blocks. Which one was that? This one? Something like that, perhaps? Right around there, I think, looks like a pretty good spot for him. And then could we just go build? Bam! Bumbo. Just like that, appears in the world. Okay, that's cool. We did get, oops, a little bit of block coverage there. Yeah, we lost a couple pieces. It's fine. I'll take a little off his rib fat here, and we'll cover this back up. But I'm not just going to leave, you know, just your generic Bumbo out in the world here. Of course, we're going to take our Crucible back because that thing's expensive as heck. I've got some additional plans for this. I think will be really cool. That'll make this a lot more interesting for Ozone. So we're going to pop right into Bumbo's face here and see if I can pick this apart, I guess we're gonna have to go pretty much right through his mouth hole here. I don't know what's inside Bumbo's brain. Have you ever wondered? I kind of wonder. And we're gonna do a couple things here. I'm not actually entirely sure if this is gonna work or not. So this is kind of an experiment as well that I'm gonna try out here. Can I make a little ways through there? I gotta make sure I know how to get this all set up properly. Crap, I think I forgot a piece. I gotta run back to the warehouse and get one additional piece here because I think I missed a part of the puzzle here. Do we have actually one in here? Oh, we got it in our backpack, of course. I got my backpack full of crate stuff on. I don't know why I didn't think of that. We got mostly all the resources we need to make any kind of contraption. That's perfect off in the distance there, so we won't notice it right away. I like that a lot. Let's shoot up into here. See if we can pop inside of here. So I'm thinking if we take and grab one of these. I really hope this works because this would be really fun if it did. So we're going to pop around a mechanical bearing like so. And then where did I take that piece? Did I take any of his mustache off? No, I don't think I did. Temporarily, can I put a block here so I know how to get that back? And then if we do, okay, I got my glue here. This is the part that's going to be a little bit tricky to do from the front. So if I go like this, over to there, and then we're going to glue that to there, this to there, this to there. I don't know how many pieces I can actually glue. So, yeah, that should be fine, right? Did I get that one down there? We're just going to keep gluing this thing together until I fall off of it. To try to get his whole entire mustache. The whole Bumbo stash here, we want glued into one piece to try to make sure all of this goes together nicely. Okay, I think we got that whole thing there. So if that works, this is going to be sweet. We have a couple of shafts here. Which what? I took a block out of there, and I took a block out of here, maybe? We'll have to see. Just make sure that looks okay from the front. I think I took it off of right here. So that one will be a little bit exposed, but I think that's going to be fine. Let's go like this. And then I didn't bring any other building blocks along with me because I'm stupid. I was supposed to tear down the other Bumbo. But that'll be fine. We'll get this. I don't want to do the windmill. I want to just do the water wheel. Because it's simple. Get that flipped around. And then actually, the big part of this I wanted to do, I forgot it back at the base. Dang it. So I want to separate that. I need to go get some more blocks. And then we'll see if this is actually going to work. Here we go, the grand finale here of Bumbo's visit over to Ozone's place here to check out the architecture and the natural history that's over here. I added in a special little feature here. If this thing works correctly now, as soon as I sleep, this should trigger a special little animation, hopefully, that will potentially work. Maybe. I bet you it didn't cycle. I have issues with these daylight sensors because if it doesn't turn nighttime for long enough, they don't actually activate. So if I trigger this and I go down here, we missed the first pass. But if this works correctly, after about 15 seconds or so here, we should see another cycle of this little animation. Perhaps. There we go. Oh, that is hilarious. So I think it's about every 20 seconds or so. That should go in a loop there, and he should get a nice little chuckle out of the mustache there. Nice little wiggle, which makes me laugh. Like, I don't know if it'll keep working if the chunks aren't loaded here, but hopefully when Ozone sees this place, he gets a little bit of a mustache wiggle there from Bumbo, because I think that makes it so much more fun and goofy. He's over here visiting on his server tour, and every so often he gets a little excited. It just looks so much more fun. So that's yeah, that's by far my favorite thing I've worked on this week. That's hilarious. That makes me laugh. Hopefully that is something Ozone enjoys when he pops in and sees this thing. Hopefully it does trigger for him. Like I said, I don't know if it will, but if not, make sure to go check out Ozone's video and let him know Bumbo's here on his tour, and he can't stay for too long. He's got to go somewhere else in the future. So give him some suggestions on where to send him to. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode today. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I'm having a lot of fun on the server still, especially with goofy little stuff like this. We're getting close to level 100. It's going to be a good time. And hopefully you'll join me again real soon for some more Vault Hunters.